The Monsterverse versus Attack on Titan. Who wins that giant battle? Well, today we find that out because we're reacting to Kong versus Zeke's Beast Titan, the battle face-off. So let's jump right into the video and see who would exactly win that battle.
Before we begin analyzing
the video
each
is by
battle
Goji
attribute,
Center. I'll
let's
throw him up on the screen right now so you can see him.
Will be facing off against this Beast
All right, what
Titan.
version of Kong versus
In
Beast
GVK,
Titan?
we saw that Kong grew around 337 feet tall.
Oh, that's
For this
pretty
battle,
ginormous.
however, we are going to travel back 51 years to 1973
Why would
during
we do
the
that?
events of Kong's Skull Island.
Is he
and
bigger
use
in
this
that one?
Kong. It may come as a surprise to some of you,
Adolescent.
but this Kong was only a teenager before it grew to this size.
Why would we
will use
get
this
the
one to
teenage
simulate
version?
what would happen if it runs into the extremely powerful Beast Titan, which measured 17 meters tall. Note that at the end of this video, we will also take a look at an alternative scenario where both of these Titans are the same height.
There we go.
Now,
I wanted
let's
to
get
react
ready
to
to
this
jump
because
into
with
the
the new
battle
Godzilla
analysis.
X Kong video coming
Corporal
out,
attributes.
Beast Titan has like
Time
the same
to
build
compare
as the villain.
big monkeys.
He's not as big,
apes,
but like he's got the
measuring
skinnier
around
arms,
104
you know?
feet tall. Teenager Kong was a strongly built Titan, with most of its muscular density happening up here.
So they're
its
definitely
upper
bigger
torso,
than the Attack on
its
Titan.
only armor, a thick layer of fur that covered most of its body except its chest, extremities, and face.
Like some
making
armor.
these locations vulnerable for any projectile attacks or melee damage.
I would pick
its
Kong.
arms, however, have
Who do
been
you guys
used
have?
in the
Let me know
past
down
to
in the
block
comments.
any incoming projectiles, giving Kong an extra buffer to protect from incoming attacks.
Kong's a savage,
Zeke's
bro.
Beast Titan is a gigantic ape-like creature with a similar posture as Kong, who is also
But only
covered in
55
fur.
feet tall.
Except this
It's still
guy's
huge.
mid-torso is exposed from the front
But
to the
not
back.
big enough.
Similar to Kong, this area is exposed to
You see
any
what I'm talking
incoming
about with the
melee
arms?
attacks or incoming projectiles
He's kinda
that
got
might
like
be
that
thrown at him
new
at high
villain shape.
speeds. Given that the Beast Titan's arms aren't necessarily as thick as Kong's, these offer no real blocking potential in terms of surface area.
So maybe that builds
So
into the
who takes
Godzilla
the
X
edge?
Kong villain too.
Both of these
he won't be
Titans
able to
are
block
muscular
very
in
well.
their own regard, but the Beast Titan's exposed torso
He'll
puts
have
him at a
powers, though.
disadvantage, giving this edge to Kong.
Kong
But
has
don't
the
be
power
fooled.
and the build.
The Beast
wins
Titan
the
has
build.
something special up its sleeve later.
He can throw stuff.
Close-range weaponry.
My boy's got that
Kong,
range.
as many of you know, is an apt combatant with a few devastating close-range weapons.
For sure.
The first being his powerful set of upper limbs tipped with these bone-crunching fists that can inflict an insane amount of punching power and that could send other smaller creatures to the afterlife.
That's a
Another
fact.
close-range weapon that Kong
doesn't
could
have a
use
lot of
would be
weapons,
its
but
jaws. These are packed with
if you
teeth
get
that
close
allow
to him,
Kong to eat other Titans.
it's game time.
These two canines, however, are specifically built to pierce tough hides and rip flesh. Kong's
So just don't
last
get close to him.
close-range weapon is its set of two legs, capable of dealing a crushing blow to anything
I haven't seen
underneath
the
his
Kong
legs'
movie in
range
so
of
long.
motion. Zeke's Beast Titan, on the other hand, is armed with claws strong enough to crack stone with ease
Crack
and climb
stone.
solid structures.
That's crazy.
Given that these can pierce stone, it's not far-fetched to assume that these could also pierce Kong's hide, let alone
That's
these
interesting,
exposed
too.
areas if he manages to get close enough. But his inability to deal heavy blows and rip flesh like his opponent gives Kong the edge once again on
You
close-range
see what I'm
weaponry.
saying? I'd pick Kong in every one of these.
Intelligence.
And he's won
This
twice.
battle of Titans does not come
see the
without
next
its
one.
fair share of cunning
Intelligence.
and strategy. In the
I don't know if
Monsterverse,
he's
Kong
smart,
has
the Beast
proven to be
Titan.
the smartest Titan when it comes to
Exactly.
overall
I know
intelligence.
Kong is smart.
Let's not forget that his ancestors had the ability to build entire societies and a civilization of Kongs, which included an army of these Titans.
That makes him
Kong
pretty smart.
was capable of determining
But that's
his
his
opponent's
ancestors.
attack patterns, creating weapons, and understanding the physics on how they could be used exactly.
Facts.
This Titan's brain was also extremely large as well, which is an indicator of high intelligence in the ape species.
Big brain.
But
My
how
boy's
does
big
the
brain.
Beast Titan compare?
He's got a
For
little
those
head.
who haven't heard of this type of
His
Titan
brain can't be
before,
that big.
they are controlled by Titan shifters, individuals who have the ability of turning into a Titan form at will.
So basically a
veteran
human.
shifters like Zeke have years of experience controlling their Titan form, which allows them to make more rational decisions while in combat. The Beast Titan in this battle will basically be controlled by a human. In Attack on Titan, Zeke has proven to be a highly intelligent and sometimes manipulative individual, capable of outwitting an opponent
I gotta
or
watch
even
Attack
a
on
whole
Titan,
army.
bro.
Although we have seen Kong
sleeping on that
successfully
anime.
outwit other Titans, human intellect has been the pinnacle of intelligence in the animal kingdom, second to none, giving
They're
this
giving
edge
that to Beast
the Beast
Titan?
Titan. Dexterity.
I don't know about that.
Also known as the level of skill you possess when using your hands or upper appendages.
Seems about right.
Both of these titans have proven to have excellent use of their throwing capability. In the film Kong Skull Island, Kong was able to create weapons and use a propeller as a ball and chain to successfully injure a skullcrawler.
Now that's
Kong's
savage.
accuracy and range was also shown
Look at that
when
accuracy.
he speared a moving target in midair,
My boy threw a tree at a
immediately killing
helicopter.
almost everyone on board. A random human attempting to perform these maneuvers would probably fail on the first attempt.
At least
Note that
a few
Kong
attempts.
has been hurling objects ever since he was a child. In the novelization of Godzilla vs. Kong, we find that Kong had some strange beef with the sun. Hundreds of years of hurling objects at an unreachable object allowed him to hit targets at a great distance, which is probably why this ended up happening. Zeke, however, was no random human.
You don't like the daytime,
As a
I
child,
guess.
Zeke developed a special, and in this case, useful talent, throwing. That's right, folks. Finally, a Titan that can match Kong's throwing capability. In both seasons 3 and 4, we see the Beast Titan display its sniper-like accuracy as he hurls objects such as boulders at humans from a mile away. And even capable of picking up irregular objects such as a horse and hitting a human at a considerable distance.
Dang!
This capability doesn't just end here. These objects can also be thrown at supersonic speeds, causing a massive amount of damage to its unfortunate target. Both of these Titans are masters at the art of hurling, but given that the Beast Titan can throw smaller objects at a smaller target at supersonic speeds, Zeke's Titan takes the edge for dexterity.
I put them on the same level, bro. I don't know about that one.
To strength? Overall strength.
Overall strength,
Apes in general are one of the strongest species in the animal kingdom.
Facts.
With animals such as gorillas capable of lifting 10 times their own body weight. But
They are
can
some
this
strong
strength
ones.
be leveraged? A specific example of Kong's strength as a teenager comes in this scene. Being able to quickly grab and carry a boulder, jump, and land with perfect accuracy takes an immense amount of strength. Its muscular build is concentrated on the upper part of its body, aka business end of this Titan.
The business
But you know
end.
who else can carry giant boulders? Titan shifters.
I mean,
in
yeah,
fact, some
but-
of these Titans can carry things that are also many times their own weight. If
Dang.
this wasn't enough,
I didn't
this
know that.
Beast Titan is one of the strongest Titan forms of all time.
I didn't know that
But
either.
how is it so strong if its arms look skinny? Same reason why orangutans and chimpanzees are extremely strong.
You see why I tied it in with the Godzilla
fast
X
twitch
Kong
muscles.
villain?
A higher concentration of
Orangutan?
these allows for better powerlifting super heavy objects, other strenuous activities, and
Oh
in this
my, he
case,
just ripped somebody
throwing.
apart. I know
the
y'all
mix
saw
of
that. It
this
was Kool-Aid.
muscular composition, along with its long arms,
It was the
can
Kool-Aid
create
man.
enough centrifugal force
R.I.P.
to hurl an object at extreme speeds. Although the Beast Titan isn't necessarily bigger than Kong, its muscular density and its paranormal amount of Titan strength puts him at equilibrium when it comes to overall strength.
Equilibrium. See, I would have said that for the last
Locomotion.
one.
Fast
Locomotion, that's
movements
the
in this
last
battle
one, I
will
think.
allow these Titans to avoid getting hit repeatedly. In the film Kong Skull
We know
Island,
Kong can bounce
this
out of
Titan
the way
was
of
capable
things.
of running at fast speeds enough to catch up to flying helicopters.
That's fast.
Kong isn't only fast on flat terrain. When it comes to uneven ground such as rocky terrain or cityscapes, Kong is able to move on or through them with ease.
He can maneuver
Zeke's
like a
Beast
savage,
Titan, on the
man.
other hand, could also move relatively fast when
See,
he
I
wanted
didn't know that
to.
either.
But this Titan wasn't necessarily known as a fast mover.
Okay, good.
Compared side by
Kong
side,
wins that,
Kong's
100%.
taller stature only means that his strides cover more distance with each step, allowing him to cover more ground in less time.
Exactly.
Kong has been a Titan known for getting up close and personal with the opponent, meaning that his combat approach must also have an agile element. This was displayed against the Skullcrawler in 1973. Kong's ability to cover more ground, climb at faster speeds, and avoid obstacles gives
He
him
wins
the
the
edge over the
locomotion,
Beast
yep,
Titan
100%.
in terms of locomotion.
So what, he win
We
3
are
out of the...
almost ready to find out who could win. But first, we need to bring up some final important details about these Titans.
We got some more
X
details.
Factor.
I like it.
The
I like
Kong
it. X
species,
Factor.
like early
They
human
are tied
civilizations,
right now, so it's gonna
probably
come
had
down
a
to
way
this.
of collecting proof of victory. And by this we mean trophies. In this case,
Like the axe
heads.
that has the dorsal?
In
Oh,
GVK,
head,
we
okay.
saw Kong rip the
My
heads
boy's
off
got a
both
head.
the Warbat and the mech.
That's
this
a fact.
odd, hardwired tendency to rip heads off in battle is proof of the violent nature of the Kong
Ah!
species. In the real world,
I didn't
there
need to
just
see
so
that.
happens to be a correlation between intelligence and
gosh.
violent behavior. The Kong species, along with some other Titans in the
I didn't need to see it
Monsterverse,
twice.
display this with the beheading of other kaiju after defeating them. A violent
That's
nature,
kinda crazy.
however, isn't
That is
a
very
beast
violent.
titan's most important virtue. In this specific world of titans, these creatures come with an ability found nowhere else.
And what is
Instant
that?
regeneration.
Oh, instant
Titan shifters
regen.
like Zeke have the ability to leave their Titan form if critically injured and transform into a Titan once again.
That's
That is
crazy.
for a limited number of times. A Titan like this also has the ability to regenerate any part of its body. Only a severe injury to the nape can expose the Titan shifter.
Why is that? Right to
if
the
that
back
was
of the
difficult
neck.
already, this Titan has the additional
makes
ability
sense.
to harden this part of its body to make it all the more difficult to access if threatened.
Okay.
In conclusion, both of these Titans have different approaches to combat. Kong's approach
still
will be to
picking
close
Kong.
in the distance between him and the
Kong
Beast
all the
Titan
way. Let
as
me know what
fast
you
as
guys think.
possible to reduce the amount of projectiles being hurled at him and avoid getting hit in a vulnerable organ. The Beast Titan's main goal would be to maintain enough distance to land
Yeah,
a
he would have to
barrage
stay
of
at long
projectiles
range.
to Kong, enough to weaken him and protect its human form.
But Kong, I think, is faster, so he'd
We
catch him.
now have enough data to
my
determine the
opinion.
winner of this fight.
Who's
Kong,
gonna win?
with his massive build and muscular composure, wins
Yep.
the edge in corporal build and close-range weaponry and locomotion.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke's Beast Titan, with its human-controlled attributes, wins the edge in both intelligence and dexterity.
But who
These
wins
two
it all?
Titans, however, are equal when it comes to overall strength, thanks to their unique muscular compositions and supernatural abilities.
So Kong takes the win.
By compiling
the data.
all our data, we determined that Kong is most likely to win this battle.
Let's go,
But at
Monsterverse!
a cost. While it's
cost.
very possible that the Beast Titan could almost snipe Kong's vulnerable organs at a distance, a stone of this
Possibly.
size wouldn't necessarily be strong enough to kill Kong with
Exactly.
one shot. Being hit once already will leave Kong with no other choice than to close the distance between him and the Beast Titan
And that's
as
just gonna
fast
make
as
him more
possible,
angry.
while protecting its face with his arms. In a close 1v1, Kong would most likely instantly defeat the Beast, given that his hands alone are large enough
Instantly.
to envelop the Beast Titan or to dismember him. Even if Zeke himself manages to escape and transform again, Kong's tendency to rip heads off his victims will eventually expose an already exhausted
Yep,
Zeke.
there it is.
But
he just
what
destroyed
if
him.
Zeke's Beast Titan was just as large as Kong? Well, then
In an
we would have
alternate
a
universe
much
when they're the
different
same
scenario.
size,
Given
this would be the
size
new
approximations,
villain right
this
here.
Beast Titan would now have the upper hand in close-range weaponry.
Here
with
we
the
go.
Beast's long claw appendages giving him more range and impact power thanks to centrifugal force.
That's true.
This would allow the Beast Titan to also be more likely to take out his opponent at a distance. Since he is now a larger Titan, he will also be capable of hurling larger objects
My boy
that could
threw like a
cause even
professional.
greater damage to Kong, breaking his bones even at a large distance.
Wow.
What
So
do you
that's
think the
kind of like the
Monsterverse
new
would
villain.
look like with the advent of a similar Beast Titan?
Well, that we can decide that for ourselves when the new movie comes out. Thank you guys for watching with me. I will see you all tomorrow. I love ya. Goodbye.